Everyone, welcome back to Tegafate Hub, where we make learning HTML simple and fun. In the last video, we learned about HTML table, where we learn how to structure a table on your web interface and make every data to be well placed on a table row. In today's lesson, we are diving into one of the most important parts of web development, which is HTML forms. This is where websites start to collect information from users like name, emails, and feedback, just like you signing up to a website, just like you signing up to a website. Yes, where you put your name and email and feedback. We will cover both the theory and practical parts, so make sure you watch till the end. And if you are following our HTML beginner series, don't forget hit that subscribe button because next we are moving to HTML list. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, kindly subscribe now to turn on the notification button to get a notification anytime I drop a video. So what we have here in our section 1 is what is an HTML form. An HTML form is used to collect user input and send it to a server for processing. Yes, they collect the information from users and send it to a server or backend to process the to for processing like storing or anything. Every form starts with the form tag, just like what you are seeing, which wrap around all input elements. Example, we have something we called our form tags with an attribute of action with a value of submit slash submit and also with a attribute of method and post value. This action is telling the form that whenever user click on submit or insert a data into the input that they need to submit it and it's going to be sent to somewhere. That's why the action that you want the form to take. That's it. And the post method, like the method you are trying, maybe you are trying to post or get. The action attribute define where the form data goes, and the method either get or post defines how the data is being sent to a server or sent to a backend. Backend is also known as server because that's where everything about your website is being operated. So now I'm heading to my virtual studio code where I'm going to show you something like this, how you too can write it straight away. So now I have this already on my virtual studio code. So to make it fast, let me quickly go to my form. Then with an action, let me just give it this and with a method of posts. So we are posting, we are trying to collect data from users. So now that's it about that. This is our form. Let me give it a comment. Let me give it a comment. Our form. That's it. So now we are moving to section 2, where we'll be talking about basic input feeds. Let's start with simple input feed like text, email, and password. That's what we'll be doing here inside our form. So now what we need to do, there's something we call label. There's something we call label. I will explain the label. Let me give it a name. Sorry. Name for name. Your full name, your full name. Sorry guys. So with this, then there's something we call input. This inputs, that is, we want this input. It comes with a attribute of type. This kind of type, what type of input you are trying to get, like what type of content you are sending into this input that you are inserting. Now is a text because we need a name from users. This is going to contain name. Give it name, give it name and value. There's value attributes. You can make it blank. That's it. Let's put it there like that. Then we have another label for our email. For email, your email address. Then we have our input. We have our inputs. Text. We need email from them. So we want them to give us their email and name it email also. Then there's something here. then it's come with ID email. So there's another one. We need password. We give it label for password, and we call it enter your password. So there's something there. We need our to put our input here also. Type is a test. Sorry, is a test. Then we name it password, and the ID also password. So now if I open my like loading this in my browser now, I'm using my live server to open it. So we are going to see what we have written. Now, your full name, I'm going to insert it here. Tegafate. Then email address, tega at, and give it at gm.co, and the password 12345. I hope you understand. 12345. So that's how they collect data from us on any website, maybe Facebook, um, Twitter, or anywhere you are trying to sign up, or any website that you are trying to use. This is how they collect data from us. This is a simple, basic input feed. Labels help user understand each input, and they are linked using four attributes. Like the four attributes I make use of here, something like this. This is what they are talking about. Is an attribute that handle the information you are trying to pass in here. Okay, that is it sets it as this is what you are trying to pass here. Okay, so now let us move to section 2, 3 rather. There's something we call radio buttons and check box. Radio buttons are used when user can pick only one option. That is, they can pick only one option. Maybe they are asking you for your gender, be your male or female or anything. Then checkbox are for multiple options. So that's what we are going to do now. That's what we are going to do now. So now what I need to do here, let me comment something here. Our radio and check box. So then we have a label here. Now let me put it here. We have input test. We have radio, and the radio is going to contain mail ID mail. Then we give it a value of mail. Okay, so for mail, okay, give it a name mail. So another one will be here also. We need input also. Then this will be radio. Then give it a name female, and also with an ID of female, then with a value of female. So we have an label also. Need to include that for female. Then something we need to put something female. Then let me put something here. Just select your gender. P. Select your gender. Okay. So now if I go to my browser now, you see something load. Something is different. So now, as you can see, select your gender. I can select male. As you can see, I can select male. So that whenever we have not done some configuration though, so with this, we are going to make it so if you select this, it's going to switch back this, it's going to go back this way. That's how radios work. I hope you understand. So that's how it works. So now we are moving on to let's quickly go and do our checkbox also. The checkbox, you are going to give it let me comment it down. Checkbox. So this checkbox is going to contain something. Let me give it a name. Let me give it something like checkbox. Select your skills. So this checkbox is going to contain what we called skills. Now we need something we called input. This input, the type is going to be check box, and we name it, let's give it HTML, and the ID is going to be HTML, and the is going to be value is going to be HTML. I hope you understand. So now we give it a label also. Then for HTML, then we name it HTML, and also we go to the next one, inputs. With this input, we'll be able to insert. Then we give it the checkbox, and also with a name, we give it, what are we passing here? Let me give it CSS, because that's our next series. So you guys stay tuned. We are moving on to CSS very soon. So don't forget. Let me name it CSS. And also with an ID of CSS. So now I think we have two skills done already here. So let's stop with this. Let me give it a label. Let me give it a label also for CSS, and let me give it this CSS. So now if I go to my browser, I'm going to see something like select your skills, HTML, and also you can select this. I can uncheck, 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 and checked. I hope you understand. So now that's that about radio and check box. So now we are moving to our section 4. This section 4, we are going to deal with drop down and test area. Next, let's look at drop down and test area, how it looks like and how you can also apply it to your HTML form. There's something, let me give it, what are we doing? We are doing drop down and test test area. So now the drop down is going to contain, let me give it a name, let me say select country. So this is going to make user to select their country. So what I need to do here is, let me label it. Okay, instead of this, let me just keep it in select your country. Let me label it with label for country, for country. Then what I'm going to say is, okay, select your con- country. So now what I need to do here is to insert something we call select. This select is going to make it easy for user to select their country. Maybe like it's going to bring it out. Anything that I listed here is going to bring it out. So now we name it country because we are passing the value from here. This we are passing it with the ID of country also. I hope you understand. So we are passing the value. Don't forget the closing tag must be closed. And inside this select, then something we call option. This option is the one that is going to handle the what anything that we have here that is they need to select, that is that the drop down. We call it drop down. Then we give it a value of USA. Okay, let me just copy this. Like that's what I need. I need USA and UK, and I need something like NG, and also so now what I need to do, I'm writing the 9 Nigeria, and I'm writing United King, Kingdom, and I'm writing something else. So United States. So I've insert and something like this. That is, whenever they select this, it's going to grab this and send it to them. So this is what we call drop down, and we are moving to our test area. So now let me come back here. Now, as you can see, we have something like select your country. If I go here, you will not see anything. Let me refresh. Now, as you can see, we have our United States here, and I can also do like this and also click on it. We call it drop down. So now we are moving to our test area. So what we need to do here is to come down and let me give it BR line break. So this test area, what we need to do, let me give it a label. We have for message because we are sending a message to the website owner. We are sending a message to the website owner. Sorry, your message. So now this test area is going to contain what we call message. So we call it test area. We call it what test area. That is, we are the name we are giving it. That is, we are passing a message. We are passing a message here. We are passing a message with an ID of message. I hope you guys are following me. I have nothing to put here. I can give it some styling and also anything I wanted to give it here. I can give it out. This let me comment it out also so you guys will grab what I'm throwing here. So these are our test area. I hope you understand. So now if I go to my browser, I'm going to see something here. As you can see, your message. I can write anything here. I can write anything. I can do anything here. I can write anything and send it out. I hope you understand. So that's that about drop down and test area. Drop downs are perfect for limited choice. Anything. And test area are for longer inputs like messages based on what we just did earlier. We need a message from them. Then we put it there. So our section 5 here, we need after collecting all this data, we need to submit and reset the button. So it's going to clear everything that is on the input that we insert on the input and so push it to the server. Now let's add button to complete our form. So now what we need to do here is I'm going to something. Let me give it a line break. So let me comment. There's something we call submit button. So this submit button is going to contain something we called, let me give it a label for submit. Okay, so label, I can give it a name submit also. Submit, and there is an input. We call it type. We are submitting data. We are submitting our data, right? So we name it submit. We name it submit. Don't make a mistake when you are trying to pass all this info, all these things, so you won't get confused. And also we have submit also. We have submit also. So that's that about that. Value. This one is going to contain value of submit, and also we have something we called, let me label it leads for reset. Um, we call it reset button. Just like you need to reboot your phone or anything that you have been using that is giving you something like just to clear everything and start again. So now we have something input also. Then we call it reset. That's it. We call it reset. Oh, sorry, I made a mistake here. Reset. Reset button. So name, we call it reset. The ID is going to be reset. It's going to be reset, and we give it the value. That is, it's going to display what you want on the button. So reset. So now if I go to my browser and I try to load that, it's going to show. Sorry, you are seeing something like error. I need to refresh, so it's going to make everything perfect. Now, as you can see, we have after the message, we have submit. This submit, as you can see, this page is not working based on we not connect anything to it. And now, if I input anything here, I do like this, I do like this. If I click on reset, it's going to request for email because we insert email. We let it know that we need email here. That's why it's not going to anywhere. As you can see, if the user did not insert anything like at .kinikan.com, it's not going to do. So now, if I click on reset, it's going to clear everything I inserted here. So as you can see, it cleans everything. That's that about all these things that we are putting together. So our form is not in a good shape now. Don't worry. When we move to CSS, we are going to make everything to be more beautiful and make everything to make sense to you guys. When the user clicks submit, data is being sent to the server, reset clear everything. That's it. So we have our last section, which is complete form example. This form include everything we have learned and works perfectly as contact form based on everything that is here. You insert your name, you insert your email address, your password, your gender, your anything like any data they are trying to ask from you, maybe like your bio data or how will I put it? Let me just say your skills, your country, and your message is like any comment that you have for them or anything you need to pass to them. So you can submit it immediately and also click on reset button. I hope you understand. So that's that about that. And that's everything about complete form. If you can see, there's nothing much. There's still more you can add, but based on all these things, it's just like a normal or rough thing to your face. So don't let us go that way. So and that's it. You now understand HTML form completely. Form input, fields to drop down, labels and buttons. So you can now build real interactive web pages with just an HTML without including CSS. We are coming up with CSS, don't worry. If you found this helpful, give this video a thumbs up and drop a comment below saying I'm learning HTML with Tegafate. Don't forget to subscribe for the next video where we'll be learning HTML list, another key structure in web design. See you guys in the next class right now, right here on Tegafate Hub. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this channel. Thanks for watching.